Hello and welcome to the Full Force Weekly, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury Editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. In this episode, I bring you all the news from the past week in the world of G.I. Joe. So what is it, me? It's the Full Force Weekly. Hello. Better late than never, I guess. Apologies for the late start. It's just me today, of course. Had not been able to join up with Pat on this one, unfortunately. But things happen, unfortunately, with this show because it is very much as and when I can get it done a lot of the time. So apologies for the late start. Hope everyone's having a good weekend already, and I hope the Saturday gets better with a slightly later in the day Full Force. And I tell you something, I thought I'd got everything ready last night, ready to go. And then loads of news popped up again, like after the fact. So I've had to pump loads of more news into this one today. You don't see this, but I have to put slideshows into this for usually myself and Pat to talk through. And this one is a two-parter. There's so much to get into. So I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer, everybody. I hope you're all having a great one. Like I said, I'll try and get to as many comments as I possibly can throughout the show. But we'll start 100% in comics land. Right, yes, so lots of comics news to talk about today. We've got two previews actually to look at. We've got A Real American Hero 321. They've posted Skybound have posted a 5-page preview of the next silent issue. It's all funny. I love how they're kind of promoting this as like, this has been in the like, we've been waiting for this for however many years. And then I'm kind of thinking, we just had about 10 silent issues back to back, did we not? In any case, I love it. It's really cool. Obviously, at 321, they were looking at the issue 21, and obviously that was a silent issue, and it makes sense. So that's what they're going to do for this one. I do like silent issues. The last few, like those ones that we saw with Spirit, Jinx, Roadblock, they were great. Like those were phenomenal silent issues. I really enjoyed those. So now we're getting another one, but this time I suppose this is the first silent issue in the main run since. Well, there's two, wasn't there? There were two in the first kind of phase of Marvel Comics. It's like 80 something. Which issue was it? 81, 82, something like that. There was another silent issue. It had Storm Shadow on the front in his classic version 2 in his version 2 get up. And I really enjoyed that silent issue, actually. And then, of course, I believe we've had a few, obviously, in the Devil's Due run. I remember that one that had the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow cover as well, back in the for the Devil's Due, it would have been. And then I would imagine it's been done. I can't remember, but has it been done in the IDW verse? I think probably has. They must have done a silent issue in the IDW run. They did so many issues. Cal says 85 was the issue I'm thinking of. Okay, cool, thank you. In any case, we get A Real American Hero issue 321, and this is the synopsis. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 321 will be an all-new silent issue. The iconic series from Larry Hama and Chris Mooneyham continues with a can't-miss issue this October. Skybound has announced details of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 321, a special silent issue of the smash hit series from the Legend. We've done all that already. Featuring covers by the incomparable Andy Kubert. A new chapter of the iconic series arrives in comic book shops on October 8th, 2025. The face of comic books changed forever when G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue 21, introduced fans to the Silent Interlude, an action-packed story with no dialogue. Now Larry and Chris present a new silent issue no Joe fan can miss, as Snake Eyes and Dawn must defend the pit from an unexpected attack. This is another all silent issue featuring the turn of the sound weaponizing characters introduced in G.I. Joe Origins 19, said Larry Hama. They have developed an air portable version of their sonic weapon and have mounted it in a stealth dirigible to attack the Joe installation under Camp Greer in the Utah desert. Snake Eyes and Dawn Moreno have been at the soundproof range in the lowest level of the pit, and they're the only Joes unaffected and must attack the airship by themselves. These are the covers. We'll get to the rest of it in a second. We don't have to read all of this, but this is effectively what we're dealing with. And this is out at some point in the future. This will be like October 8th, is this one. So yeah, this is October 8th. Now, covers. We've got cover A by Andy Kubert and Laura Martin on the left-hand side there. Laura on colours. And then obviously the Andy Kubert black and white as well version of that on the right-hand side. There is also a cover C, which is a 110 incentive, Gears of Joe variant by Steve Beach on the left-hand side there. Obviously, it's just a HISS tank with Cobra Commander posing in front of it. Very HISS tank HasLab vibes, that, isn't it? They could have used that artwork at some point during that event. Probably could have used that to reveal the fact we were getting Cobra Commander. And, of course, a Real American Hero cover D by Chris Mooneyham. And that's a beauty as well. I do like this one. It's got like a bit of a story to it, and also kind of hinting at what is actually going on inside in the interior of this particular story with that sound weapon, and obviously Snake Eyes and Dawn unaffected because they're in a silent or like a soundproof area of the pit. Very nice indeed. And of course, we've got a little preview of what's going on as well. So effectively, what we see here, as the panels kind of continue, and obviously there won't be any bubbles in this. This is a silent issue. We see this weird spacecraft approaching. Aircraft, not spacecraft. They're not in space. This weird aircraft approaching. It's kind of got like that. Initially, got kind of like almost like a Cobra La vibe when the weird floaty, whatever the hell it is, flies into the mountain at that point in the movie. It's got that vibe, but obviously when it gets closer, you can see it's not a biological thing. And you also see inside the kind of craft as well, a little bit. It looks like a little bit kind of like, arm lot of army in there. Basically, it's going to be a big attack coming, and you can see that. And so yeah, you see what's happening. They're kind of approaching the pit, and then in the next kind of scene, you see Snake Eyes and Dawn showing up to the pit in a vamp, which looks really cool, by the way. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be. I think it's green, and it's just the way that it's been coloured, like the shading and the darkness and everything. And then you get obviously you get them kind of like going into the pit, going down all the levels. They're going to go into that soundproof area for basically shooting practice by the sounds of things. So yeah, that's all the small arms. Yeah, so they're going in there to basically shoot around a little bit. And then you get this kind of like page of Mainframe, Stalker, Duke, and Scarlet in the kind of operations room. And I love this, by the way. I want to see this sort of done. I know I've seen loads of people customize these kind of things, like these kind of like sections and layouts and play sets, like communication setups for the classified series, and I am here for it all day long. And also shout out to Brian and Codename Iowa Assembly Required for the amazing little dios they put together that go into gear packs or have been in the past. There was a really cool communication center for 4-inch figures that they did, which was so good. A little kind of cardboard one basically, but it was really, really awesome. So I'm getting very inspired by, because you see this room, the situation room, almost in every issue of A Real American Hero. I can't think of one recently where they haven't shown this sort of situation room, which is in darkness and only lit up by the screen brightness, by the way, which I think is another really sexy bit of sort of like, atmosphere building sort of thing. That's a really nice kind of way that they do that. You can tell it's dark in there, and all the screens basically are all the light sources. And it reminds me of a bunch of kind of like shows and movies where they would do that, where the kind of communications room would literally be the only source of light, basically. And I like that a lot. But this is something I want to try and do. I want to try and like create something like this in a dio situation. Anyway, that is all we get for. I believe that's all we get for the preview. But yes, very cool that we. It's kind of like, I'm not sure if it's like too much to give away, But I always feel like with these previews, when I actually read the issue, they either leave stuff out, important stuff like certain speech bubbles, or there's a little element that is kind of left out that makes you kind of like go, oh, okay, so it wasn't what I was thinking. This isn't where it was going, or this isn't what I thought was going to be happening. This is probably pretty straightforward. They're going to be attacked, and Snake Eyes and Dawn are going to save the day, basically. But I'm excited to see this one. Blitz says Pixis Designs has a new Snake Armor hanger type diorama piece. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, Pixis Designs do some good stuff for sure. Anyway, yeah, sorry for everyone in the chat. Sorry if you're making comments and I'm not ignoring them. I'm just, not seeing them all. But yeah, that is the preview for 321. Excited about this one, as I am with all the comics. The comics right now are in a place that I never expected G.I. Joe comics to be, ever. I never expected them to be this popular, selling out the way they are, and just the level and quality that we are seeing from these particular issues is just phenomenal. Like, I love A Real American Hero. I absolutely adore the Energon universe, I've got to say. Like, I have been hooked with that, and we've got a little bit more to talk about in regards to that as well now, because G.I. Joe issue 10 has had a preview pop up as well. Now, if you're like me and you only just read, was it 8 or 9? What issue was it I just read? I can't remember what it was. The most recent one, the one that came out very recently. In actual fact, I posted about it not too long ago, so I'll be able to tell you exactly what issue I just read. It was 9. So yeah, the one before 10, obviously. So I read issue 9 just before we went live, actually, today, and I was really into it. I don't think Raptor has been as cool as he is at this moment in time. He was pretty cool when the club did that 4-inch figure of him in the figure subscription service. He was cool at that point, and I was down with it. He was cool in Hearts and Minds as well. I thought it was an interesting little nod to Raptor in that. But honestly, with the Raptor in the classified series and the one in this issue, or the one in the last couple of issues, so dope. He's like Batman, but a bad version. He's like Badman. Anyway, Hasbro and IKEA should do a collab HasLab Pit, says Twisted. That's genius, actually. Yorktown Joe says, currently buying all 3 Energon Universe books, plus the Hammer book. Very fun. Same. I am all in on Energon Universe and A Real American. Like, anything that's got G.I. Joe connectivity to it, I'm all over it. Excuse me. Mark says, it is pretty normal to drop a preview of the next issue a couple of days after the most recent issue is released. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much for that. Did I say something that provoked that comment? I'm not sure. And then, of course, yeah, we've got issue 10 here. I see what you mean, because I was confused about remembering what issue I just read. Got it. Understood. Yeah, I just, that was me just not thinking it was like issue 8 I was reading, but no, it was issue 9. So 10, here we got covers, and I will go through all of the info for this one as well. Now, if you've been reading this particular run, and if you've been reading and if you read the last issue, it kind of, they finished it on a bit of a is it one of them? It's like, it's one of those things where I'm expecting it to be not what it appears to be. So I'm expecting it to not necessarily be what it appears to be. There's a final scene. I'm not going to go too far into it, because obviously we're going to be getting into the preview now anyway. So spoilers ahead, obviously. But yeah, I would say if you don't want to know about what's happening in this series, just turn off now, because I'm going to talk about it in this moment. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. CoverGirl stabs Baroness in the back in a arena pit type situation in the last panel of the previous issue. So they're basically having this. They've been captured by Raptor for Major Blood. Major Blood has them in a pit. He's already shot CoverGirl, so she's injured, but she's been patched up and sewn up. But they're in this pit, and basically he's given them this ultimatum where he says, Baroness, if you kill her, I hand you in. If you kill CoverGirl, I'll hand you in to the people that are paying me to get you, to capture you. But CoverGirl, if you take her eye, I'll let you go free. And something I can't remember. Basically, either CoverGirl cuts up Baroness's eye out, or Baroness kills CoverGirl. And it's like, okay, here we go. And then as the Baroness is sort of talking it through with blood, she gets stabbed in the back by CoverGirl. However, I have a feeling that it might be a little bit of a red herring, shall we say? And we'll probably get into that as we look at the preview for this one, because unfortunately, even though that left on a bit of a cliffhanger, going into this issue, if we get given the first load of pages, are we going to be spoiled? Probably. So let's get spoiled. So Baroness versus CoverGirl, G.I. Joe 10 by Joshua Williamson and Andrea Milana. Coming out Wednesday, August the 20th, 2025. I don't need to read all of that. Baroness against CoverGirl. Meanwhile, is Cobra Commander's alliance with Destro on the verge of collapse? We have cover A, Tom Riley, which is the one on the left-hand side there, and a very dynamic one, very brutal. You can see that blood has been drawn on those daggers of the Baronesses there. Cover B is by Andrea Milana, and that is the one on the right-hand side there, where they're back-to-back with their pistols. That's what you want to see. The buddy cop movie that no one expected. We also have, there's a ton of covers for this one. If my slideshow would move, there we go. We have cover C, which is a 1 of 10 copy incentive. It's Connecting by Alan Quah as well. So there you go. And that is a nice one as well. So this is going to be like a desk with lots of like files and stuff on it. I'm not sure, Mark, if you're in the comments, have we already got connecting covers for this one? Have they been doing connecting covers, or is this the start of a new segment of connecting covers? Because that's really cool. And I like the thought of this one, like a desk with all the files on it, with the coffee and stuff like that. I'm excited to see that one. Maybe it's just connecting to the other next issue or something. But either way, if there are more, I'd like to see those. I always liked getting the connecting covers. I kind of defaulted to the connectors when I was kind of, when I've been collecting and stuff. Now it's just the default of whatever they have. It started with 8. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. So, I'm going to look up 8 and 9 covers because I want to see how that looks all together. But it looks great. Cover D is by Lucas Mayer and Adriano Lucas. Cool. They got the Lucases together there, didn't they? And that is a 1 in 25 copy incentive on the right-hand side behind the explosion background, of course. Classic. And then we have the we have the cover with the Baroness on it here, which is cover E, 1 of 50 copy incentive by Homer, which again is a very cool, interesting little like shudder there of the Baroness. You can see that kind of like almost like a echo in the background of her as well, which is kind of cool. But again, very nice. Definitely has Bishuju statue vibes, that Baroness design there. Maybe we could see that in the future and with the G.I. Joe uniform. In any case, as you can see from the next panel, as we lead into the next issue, Blood is already sort of like happy with the fact that CoverGirl has already stabbed Baroness. And it's all kind of kicking off in this little section here. I actually haven't read this. The first time I've looked at it because I was kind of avoiding it because I wanted to know what happened in the previous issue, and I know now. So here we go. He's basically saying, take her eye, finish it, and she's basically saying, do it yourself. And he's yelling at her, and she's like, I'm not going to do it. And then obviously Raptor in the meantime is actually stalking the Baroness's parents in Paris, because that's why the Baroness and CoverGirl are there in the first place. That's why Baroness is there in the first place. She was keeping an eye on her parents, and CoverGirl was there to basically keep an eye on the Baroness, not realizing she even had parents. And obviously Raptor is floating about, and it's a situation of, if you don't do what I say, the Baroness will have her, parents killed by Raptor. And so they, as you see, Baroness just dives in and starts fighting. And this is where we leave it. So interesting, another little cliffhanger. But I will say that it's all very intriguing. I love this run has been really cool. I've been really into this. and we'll have to wait and see in issue 10 what the outcome is. I have a feeling CoverGirl was sort of like not doing the full amount of damage, if you know what I mean, and clearly that was the case. And I feel like the Baroness is also, I think they're basically just doing enough on the surface to invite the opportunity for escape, but we'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. Anyway, that is the issue 10 preview. And look how cool Raptor looks in that shot as well, like soaring over Paris in that crazy cool, like friggin' wingsuit that he's got. Anyway, man, they have made Raptor cool. Incredible. Now, we also got in the week a little synopsis of G.I. Joe issue 12, which is, I think, do I remember? No, October 15th for that one. So I've got to wait till October for this, but this sounds incredible. This is another Night Force sort of issue. And this particular one regards a covert operation. Shooter, it's a first appearance of the fan favorite Shooter. They want her to join Night Force, but she's imprisoned in Darklonia, and Lady J has a plan to break her out. This sounds like a great issue, and I love that cover, by the way, as well. It's the only cover I think we've seen of this so far, and it's the Tom Riley one, I believe. But it's really nice. That kind of blue and white sort of like background is really cool, like that kind of two-tone in the background, and then obviously Shooter in the foreground, in some like weird get-up right there, holding a ton of like ammo belts. Interesting to see what that's all about. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what this issue is about, because it sounds great. Everything I've always wanted, like little covert op Night Force sub team issues. Sign me up all weekend long. We also had a Void Rivals 24 reveal for the covers and synopsis as well, including a variant cover with Pythona on it, which is pretty dope as well. And I just wanted to make that one clear. That's also been revealed this week, and obviously that is G.I. Joe related because it's Pythona. That is actually by, if I can remember, I can't remember, so I'll just have to read it on screen if I can. It's D, isn't it? Cover D, and that is, oh yeah, Darnie and Brad Simpson. So it's Darnie and Brad Simpson. Very, very cool cover of Pythona there. Okay, neat. There you go. That's, I think, all the comics news for now. There is another bit of sort of semi-related comics news, but it's actually going to be done in the regular news burst segment. So we will switch to that. But first, I believe we're talking Bull Airs news next. Let's get it on. Yes. So this was an interesting drop. Obviously, this dropped in the week, and then on Friday they went up for sale. But if you're into sneakers, and these are pretty cool, then I think you'll be into these. If you're a Joe fan, which if you're not, if you're watching this and you're not a Joe fan, what are you doing? I'm confused. Maybe you're watching it and you're a Void Rivals only fan. Who knows? Only fan? What am I talking about? Anyway, so we've got a couple of drops to talk about on this one. The first, of course, are this is the Classify collection, and Bull Airs have done a G.I. Joe and a kind of Cobra version of these high tops. Now, there's a couple of things to kind of get into here. One, the price is on the very high end, because they're made in such a way to avoid any issues with copyright. So you obviously no logos are used, no actual, actual logos are used. Obviously there are logos all over that, but it's their own ones, not like the actual ones. And so it's kind of like a sort of done in parody. And also there's a loophole, there's a legal loophole whereby the elements are ordered or bought, purchased, and they're made in such a small amount that they are able to do it legally. I believe there's a disclaimer at the bottom as well, which in such tiny writing, I'm not going to be able to read that right now in word for word, but that is what the situation is. So they are technically legal to do this. So it's, I'm down for that. Now the price is high, obviously. It's not something that you're just going to go blindly and buy all 3 pairs or whatever. But at the same time, I still love the fact these exist. I think they're so cool. But mainly it was this special drop that this was 20 pairs only. So obviously these were like $450. I know it's insane. I also love the bull logo, by the way. That's got like it's like the upside down cobra logo, but with the bull face, and it's so cool. It's like a Chicago Bull logo with cobra logo merged into it. It's brilliant. Um, yes, that's it. They're purchasing the sneakers and they're customizing them effectively. That's how they do it. And yeah, like these dropped on the day on Friday, and the bat ones, sorry, are freaking insane, including an actual lenticular element on it, which is like the Battle Android Troopers mechanical chest section, which is just calling me right here. I mean, I was this close to filing for bankruptcy to get these, but no, I didn't. I didn't in the end. They are amazing. I believe they're sold out now. But yeah, I think these were 450, I want to say. But yeah, that's the thing though. That's the situation you're dealing with, and they're not necessarily for like mass release. What would be really cool is if Hasbro did some cool like Nike kind of collaborations for Joe. I know we've had a lot of sneakers. We've got Asics, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow ones, which I have. They're right there. I've got the what they call it, the goats, which are like the kind of like espadrilles start. No, not espadrilles. They're like kind of like digital camo green, sort of like, I forget what the kind of style is, but anyway, kind of like canvas shoes, basically. Really nice. I've got those as well. And then of course you've got the Reebok GI Joe collaboration when they did a couple of years back. So like 2018, 19, something like that. One of those years. And yeah, they did, and I've got those. They're great. They all camo with the Night Force orange neon blimmin' laces. So good. But yeah, Bull Airs, crazy high prices, but they're so good. I wanted these Battle Android Troop ones so bad. I mean, look at them. They've got a freaking lenticular element on them. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yes, Nike, they did. Yes, they did. And my God, Jedi Ben, were those hard to get hold of. Never got them in the end. But yes, Nike did a collab with Joe, didn't they? Years ago. And it was like Destro, Cobra Commander, and Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, I think. You can kind of find them. They've got the boxes they came in were brilliant. They're window boxes as well, weren't they? And look really cool. Very vintage retro packaging, but really hard to get hold of. Really hard. They sold out as well, and it was after the fact that I was aware of them, I think, as well. So it was like impossible to try and get them. eBay was like stupid, and then you just don't see them very often. Anyway, just wanted to shout out Bull Airs because I think these particular bat sneakers are amazing. Anyway, if there's anything you think, if if you want to get me anything for Christmas, yeah, which is in July now, just so I have them sooner. They had them SDCC Jedi. They did, yes. Anyway, there you go. Love these. Thought they were great. And we'll move on because we've got loads more to get stuck into. Next up, I think we're switching back to what I said we were talking about before. Yeah, I think we're getting back into it's SDCC, it's comic related, and it's Void Rivals. Yes, Fan Expo dropped a ton of images for the SDCC Void Rivals set. Actually looks really cool, and they've done it definitely with the connective tissue to that first issue. Obviously, I'm rhyming. Obviously, this is where Jetfire shows up in Void Rivals, and spoiler alert, issue 1, guys, come on, and where they meet for the first time. And they've kind of replicated that in the dios, which is kind of cute as well. You got the box there as well, which you can see it comes with the comic, that reissue 1 you've got the Jetfire vehicle and Transformer in there, and you've got Salila and Jarak, I think it is, in there too. Now, I am all for this stuff. I think it's great. I know a lot of people are saying like, yeah, the Jetfire, I've had it. We've had it a bunch of times, and you have. If you're a Transformers collector, you've probably been getting this quite often, because this Jetfire, this is not the first time this Jetfire has appeared for collectors. So it's kind of getting that again, but you are getting two very cool um, O-ring figures in regards to the Void Rivals characters, which I think is kind of cool. Darak and Salila, as I said before. And here we have them, kind of like as they first met in combat as well. So, Void Rivals, if you're not aware, is basically two kind of this kind of battling, kind of like I say species. I'm not going to say anything. These two battling, kind of like races, effectively. That they've been at each other. They've basically been warring, different planets, obviously, but they've been warring with each other for untold millennia or what have you. And the two of them end up in this situation where they have to work together, and it's really difficult because they're like enemies born and bred, and it's about them kind of getting over those kind of issues to help each other work together to get off this planet that they're abandoned on. They come across Jetfire, who is sort of like effectively, I'll show you the picture. It's this one here on the right hand side, who is effectively like crashed in this position. They mess around with him a little bit, and he instantly transforms and leaps up, and we kind of see sort of which image is it? None of these. Which image was it? There was an image where, this one on the left hand side here, where he's kind of like facing them, but he doesn't really notice them, and he kind of goes, "Oh my god, where am I? How long have I been here?" And then he just transforms and flies off, and they're just there like, "Oh, thanks, mate." So he disappears, and they end up left on their own to work out how to get out of it. And these images are sort of like telling that story a little bit as well from that issue, which is kind of cool. We have obviously a bunch of shots of Jetfire in vehicle mode. It's a cool version of Jetfire. I mean, it's a great toy. It's just that it's been done a bunch of times. It makes sense for the set though. Obviously, especially for that issue 1, which is where Jetfire kind of connected with them. Having said that, you do get other characters show up in Void Rivals from Transformers that might have been would have been just as good to throw in there. But the other thing you got to take into consideration is the lead time on these sets, and they probably looked at this one and thought, okay, yeah, we can do this with a Jetfire, because it was like the first issue, and obviously, like I said, the lead time for creating this stuff is it's a long time, like 18 months or whatever. And so the O-rings would have been the most complex element of this, I'd imagine, even though they are reusing parts that exist in the O-ring kind of library, because you have Zartan's legs being utilized. I think you have Baroness's legs being utilized as well on the characters. Not the same character, that would be weird, but on each character. But here you can see the transformed version with the weapons he comes with as well, and the little blast effects for those weapons. It is a cool version of Jetfire, I've got to admit. And then, of course, the O-ring figures as well there. And now here they are, and you can kind of see it a bit clearer here. You can see definitely the upper legs of the Baroness, probably lower too. Yeah. So you got the Baroness parts being utilized there on Salila. And on Darak on the left, you can 100% see Zartan. But the way they're designed in the comics, it's like good use, honestly. It works. Figure 6 pack says, I see parts from Baroness and Zartan from those figures. Yep, absolutely. Whatever happened to the Mobat Prime crossover? Well, I think it's probably just going to show up at some point eventually, but I don't know is the answer to that one, RKW. We haven't, this is the funny thing. There's been a listing for it, a leak listing for a long, long time, but it hasn't shown up like recently. And that's, when you see it, like if we see that listing again, we'll know it's coming, basically. So yeah, it's one of those things where you have to kind of keep an eye out. Who knows? Maybe it was just caught in a development, kind of friggin' black hole. Maybe it fell to the same sort of issues that Dial Tone ended up getting caught in some sort of crap by the sound of it. So production issues. So maybe similar factory issues there. I don't know, and maybe it just kind of put a little bit of a delay on it. But I guess we'll find out eventually, either by not seeing it or by seeing it. You'll have to. If it's like 3 years down the line and we're asking where it is, it ain't coming. But if we're like, maybe get to the end of the year and it hasn't, there's been no sign of it, we might be like, yeah, maybe that one has been pushed. But it could be into next year. It could be into next year very easily. Rachel says, "Come on, BMAC, get us a Sky Striker Jetfire crossover set with Ace and Failsafe." Very specific there, Rachel. Whatever happened to... Yeah, I've done that one. Sorry, RKW. Right. Yeah, they should go up on Pulse. Yeah, they should be up on Pulse as well, I imagine, with pretty much everything else that is going up. I imagine they'll be on Pulse. Premium members, that in that very short window on the 24th. Right. That's everything, I think, for Void Rivals. Let's move on. Oh, yeah. This is an interesting one. And it's a shame Pat isn't with me because I'd like to have talked to him about this. But we've got Hiya Toys news. Yes! Hiya Toys have revealed their exquisite mini 4-inch Range Viper. Didn't see that one coming. Excuse me, sorry. A lot of talking. I did not see that one coming. So this is a very cool addition to the line. Have I had time to put this one in that like graphic that I've done? No, because I have to redo the entire graphic every single time. And now it's getting to the point where everyone's heads have got like that much space left in. It's like we're on like 27 or 20. I don't know what number we're on. It's 20 something. But I thought this one looks really cool. Anyway, Michael Gene Fleming says, "I'm so excited for the Void Rival set. It's actually my favorite part of the Energon universe right now." It is really cool, Michael. It is really cool. I definitely enjoy it. They do not fit inside Jetfire. No, the Void Rivals O-ring figures are just like sort of semi in scale with the with that figure, in the same way that they're in scale in the comic. Yeah, they can't get in him. No. Where is everyone getting Hiya? I want to get a couple. Blitz, I think there are a few places. So Small Joe's is one. What were the other places? There was another couple of places as well. Cool Toys Club, was it? And Robot Kingdom. So there's a few different options, but yeah, I don't think anyone's necessarily getting them though. It's like I think we're up to like Major Blood at the moment. Maybe Zartan was the last one actually that sent. Yeah, Cool Toys Club. Thank you, Chucky. Anyway, yes, the classified version of this Range Viper is like Gold Dust, RKW, but these images look great. I think this is a really solid figure. But then again, you can't really go wrong with this one, especially if it's following what the classified version has done, because the classified figure is beautiful. But this is good. I like it. And obviously, we've talked in the past about Hiya Toys head sculpts. I'm not a massive fan of the human kind of head sculpts, but their masked figures or their helmet figures, whenever there's a covering on their face, they look amazing. And this looks great. Lots of gear with this one as well. You got the kind of that axe thing there, like the pick. You've got all the machine guns. You've got the backpack, the connecting kind of tube hose thing. Funny, this comes out after the Grim Viper got revealed as well. Very interesting. Mark says, "Just go to any busy inner city corner and ask, 'Can you tell me how I get any higher?'" Yeah, how I can get higher. And yeah, you'll get higher immediately. Thank you, Mark, for that. So yeah, most of them haven't shipped. That's very true, Chucky. Any news this week other than toys? Asks Somar. What does that mean? I mean, we've done comics, so that wasn't toys. Trying to think if there's other stuff. Well, we'll see in a sec. You'll see momentarily. Yeah, so anyway, Range Viper looks pretty cool with Hiya Toys, and I'm definitely down for this one. It's a banger. Here's some more images of him, showing again the little side dagger that he comes with. That is a chunky side, what's it called, sheath or holster he's got for that pistol. But again, we're used to that with some of these figures, aren't we? And yeah, very cool indeed. I think yeah, this one's a real. This is a really good interpretation of the Range Viper from Hiya and a 4-inch medium. And if you're into the 4-inch figures, I think this is really your only outlet at the moment. Hiya are the only ones doing this. You've got the 3 3/4, but that again, it's not the 4-inch, you know, area, is it? It's a different beast altogether. So if you are collecting these things, Hiya is your only destination, and even though they're well below 50% on reveal to delivery, it's ramping up for sure. It's definitely kind of like they're closing that. Well, I say closing that door. Who knows? Anyway, yeah. So I'm looking at comments, trying to keep up. Here is the loadout for the Range Viper. Comes with the same figure stand that they all do, with those little kind of segment connectors that connect other, the same stands together, so they can all kind of be on the same kind of diode display, even though it's just a massive amount of stands. You have the same machine gun kind of things, a kind of grenade launcher, which again I believe probably connects to the backpack in the same way that the classified version does. I haven't seen any evidence of that on any of these, or maybe that was no. There's no evidence that actually happens. That you can connect the grenade launcher to the backpack in the same way that the classified version does it. And I would wonder if it's because they do tend to make those weapons a little bit too big. I wonder if the sight is too big to slot into the backpack, but who knows? We don't know. I don't know if I read that on the actual blurb, but he comes with the axe. He comes with the side dagger, the pistol, the secondary ammo belt, which goes over his torso, the spare hands, and of course that awesome backpack with hose. So awesome! There you go, Range Viper. He's there. He exists, and he's in. I've got to redo that bloody image again. Honestly, it takes me it takes ages, because it's like you have to create another little window. And the other thing is, on it, it's like really difficult to get it accurate. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop complaining. It is what it is. But there you go, Range Viper. Probably the best and only way you'll be able to get a Range Viper in the near future, because the classified version is hard to get. And also, when I was talking about, does he? Yeah, he exists. Does he though? Indeed, Mark. I was talking about the Grim Viper when it was revealed. Obviously, when we revealed it officially, I'm gonna dine off that for a while. I think, just honestly blew me away that we got an official reveal from Hasbro. Like, just and to be in the same company as Adventures in Collecting, Toy Galaxy, Secret Galaxy, Dan Larson, BBTS, Entertainment Earth. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. So, thank you, Hasbro, and for letting us do that. Honestly, that was like a dream come true, genuinely. Now, with the Grim Viper, when I was talking about it, I was kind of saying, like, you'll have your Range Viper, you'll have your Grim Viper. So it's not necessarily going to be a massive army. Completely forgetting that there's also a 788 Fireteam Range Viper as well. So yeah, it's going to be 3 different Range Vipers at this point when the Grim Viper comes out, and only one of them is technically a Range Viper, isn't it? I think isn't the 788 one called something else? Is it called Range Viper? I can't remember what's written on the thing. It just says 788 Fireteam. I'm not even sure if it's called out anywhere that it's a Range Viper. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's Trooper Officer Range Viper, even though that's what it is. Is it written on anything? I can't remember. That was like millions of years ago in my head. But in any case, if you got that one, then you got 3 of them. So great, brilliant. Right, moving on from Le Range Viper, which is French for the Range Viper, we have, is it a whole? Yeah, it's a whole mess of cold Slither news. We'll cover all of it in one go. Let's do it. Oh, Slither, you'll be joining us soon. I've heard that song more in the last month than I think I've ever, and it used to be, I used to hum it all the time as well. I've been singing it out loud constantly. It's like it's got to the point where I start to sing and I go, shut up, stop it. Anyway, it's up, guys. Cold Slither, lots of stuff going on here. We've got real life signings to talk about, new merchandise. We've got a Walmart Collector Con from Super 7 Reaction Plus box set. We've got the regular actual box set promo images for the SDCC classified version. So much to get into. Let's do it. Starting with the signing session, the in-person signing session from the real Cold Slither of Gus Rios, Ross Sewage, Matt Harvey, and Andy Selway, who are, of course, Zartan Torch, Ripper, and Buzzer, respectively. That will be at the San Diego Comic Con 2025 booth 4029, obviously in conjunction with Hasbro, RPM, and so on and so forth. There you go. They'll be signing, and that's at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. 1:30 p.m. Sorry, on Friday, July the 25th. So only an hour and a half to get in there. Loads of merchandise is going to be available to sign, and here it all is. This is the exclusive merch that's different, by the way, to the so this box set. Effectively, you'll be able to get at San Diego Comic Con, and then a slightly different version of this with different deco and different color is going to be on the Walmart Collectors Con page on the 24th as well. Like, it is going to be, for those that collect all of this stuff, like, good luck is all I'll say, because it must be so hard to do all this. I'm only going for the classified box set. Like, as much as I would love all of these with the vinyl and everything, the vinyl as well. Oh, I would love to have both of those records in those decos, 100%. Well, sorry, I say both of those records. There's one on the screen at the moment, and then there's one that we'll see in a little while, which is a different deco. And I would have both. But anyway, Zartan says, "Excuse me, the real Cold Slither." Sorry, Zartan. You know what I mean? I mean, like, IRL Cold Slither. But yes, my apologies, Zartan. You're the real Zartan, and thank you very much for the super chat. We very much appreciate it. Anyway, so there you go. This is the merch. Now, in that merchandise, you might notice a cheeky little friggin' Super 7 Reaction Plus Cold Slither Zartan in Tiger Stripe pants, which is ridiculous, and I want it really bad to kind of go along with my regular Cold Slither Zartan, which isn't as cool anymore. I'm just kidding. He is cool. I'm loving this one with the zebra pants, or tiger stripes, mountain tiger. What? But anyway, there you go. That'll be really difficult to get. Good luck. I imagine a lot of people will go to the convention. They'll grab one of these merch sets, and then it will be a case of seeing them on eBay for hundreds of dollars. Anyway, that's the merch box set that you'll be able to get from for signing as well at said booth. I believe they'll be at Super 7's booth as well, but now I think about it, that might be the Walmart Collector Con version. Just saying. Now, they also have these exclusive prints as well in league with Sideshow. So Sideshow are teaming up with Cold Slither and RPM and Hasbro to produce these prints. There's an orangey kind of red one, and there is a blue one. Here they are. Here both of them are. Here are these they. These are both done by Sideshow, and they'll be again available for purchase at the con. And of course, we've got these as well. So yesterday's were doing some enamel pins, basically. Dreadnought's the enemy, the kind of Dreadnought's logo there, and the Cold Slither logo enamel pins. Very nice indeed. There you go. You don't have to eat every day, do you? Not every day, Twisted, if you want to pay for all of this, absolutely. So they're doing tons of merch. There you go. Now, the big news, more news came out today or yesterday or whenever it was, that Walmart Collector Con, because they were posting their Walmart Collector Con, stuff, listings wise, and the little date as to when it's going live, including obviously Beachhead and Quick Kick, which we'll be talking about momentarily. But not in massive detail because I've already gone through it. And this is this is the Super 7 Reaction Plus thing that's going up for Walmart CollectorCon, and it is a box set different deco to the one we just saw, but the same contents. So the box set, obviously different design and color and everything. The print, the record, the vinyl record, the pick or plectrum, and of course another Cold Slither variant, Zartan. Are you kidding me? It looks to be exactly the same as the standard one in terms of deco and what have you, but it's a different card back. So good luck to all those variant hunters. I'm more concerned about Adam and Pat, who I know are trying to collect all these. Good luck is all I'll say on that, lads. We'll try and I think people will try and help you. But I've broken it down into like all the separate sections. So this is the one that's going to be available on Walmart CollectorCon on the 24th, and I imagine at Super Seven's booth. But yes, it comes with a stand, so at least he gets a stand that's different. And obviously the card back is different. So there is a difference to this one. You are getting that Cold Slither stand for the figure stand, sorry, and of course a very cool, different, crazy variant backdrop, which is also quite nice. I love that sort of like graffiti effect around the edge for the border. Very nice indeed. Yeah, and I would have liked a redeco on this one personally, something different. That would have been cool, or maybe something else. Like he comes with something else to kind of add different accessories to the situation. But this is what Super 7 do. They do like their kind of variant card backs, and this is certainly that. But again, like I said, you do get a figure stand with this one, so get 10 of them if you can. This is the back of the card. A bit of Extensive Enterprises and Cobra branding as well on there, which is nice. You'll be joining us soon. Like I haven't sung that 135 times in the last hour. And of course the card, which is nice, a different all yellow and like a yellow and black card, which is kind of cool. And again, the information is just literally lifted from the original Zartan kind of figure, so it's not anything different, or they haven't changed it to kind of like coincide with Cold Slither in any way, shape, or form. It's just effectively lifted from the OG Zartan. This is the pick or the plectrum, depending on what the hell you say, with the guitar. If you're in the guitar world, if you're in the music world, the guitar world, you're in the guitar world. Guitar world sounds like a level on Mario Brothers, doesn't it? So yeah, Cold Slither on one side, and you'll be joining us soon on the other. Kind of want it, not gonna lie. This I do want 100%. Very nice indeed. And like I said, man, I want all the vinyl. Anything vinyl, G.I. Joe related, I want it. I even ordered that variant gem vinyl from what's it called? Enjoy the Ride Records. I love that company because I've got a lot of cool stuff from them, including the Turtles soundtrack, like the movie 1990 soundtrack, the Transformers cartoon soundtrack, obviously the G.I. Joe one, multiple versions of that. There was a few versions. And then, of course, vinyl that I'm connected to, like Word Burglars stuff that I've produced tracks for, and of course, all of Word Burglars vinyl because I wanted to get all of it. It's amazing. Anyway, does anyone have a record player? Yeah, I've got one. It's amazing. Super 7 is reeling in all the fish, says 44D2. Yeah, indeed. Here's the print as well, the poster, the tour poster, which is kind of cute as well. And that is all part of that set. And then, of course, the beautiful box that it comes into. I mean, that's a really nice touch. The packaging's next level. And, of course, different deco and different style to the other one, but effectively the same thing, just in different colors. There you go. Now, that isn't the end of Cold Slither, is it? No, because we had the listing on Pulse appear the other day. So, kind of with a little countdown clock on it. Of course, that's going to go live for Pulse Premium members on the 24th at whatever time. I can't remember now off the top of my head. I wrote it down. I put it on the post. You already know anyway. I don't know why I'm like relaying the information, but people might watch this and be like, what time is it going up? I'll tell you exactly. It goes up. Except it goes up in 4 days, 19 hours, 4 minutes, and 50 seconds. It will launch 7:24 at noon Eastern, 12 p.m. Eastern. And of course, it will be for premium members, and that's pretty much it. And then a regular pre-order starts on 8/1. So the 1st of August. I failed to pick up on that information. You learn something new every day on this show. Well, I do as I read it for the first time. Yeah, so a regular pre-order will pop up on the 1st of August. It's not bad at all, is it really? And yeah, it's only it's $124.99 as well, which I think is actually really good, especially considering the numbers that people were coming up with. I think some people were saying, "Oh, this is going to be like 250. This is going to be like over $200. This is going to be like 150, even 150." I was probably accepting of, but 124, yeah, I'll probably take that. And all the gear you get with it, all the drum kit alone is another figure, isn't it? Pretty much, it's technically a 5-pack if you count all the accessories. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Not bad, eh? Not bad at all. So and then all of the images came out, loads of promo images. Here is the box. We've seen the box multiple times. We've seen it in real life. I've seen Emily take the sleeve off and open it as well, so it's all good. And here is the back of the set. Yes, this is the classified set, by the way, if anyone wasn't sure about that. And that sleeve at the bottom comes off and reveals Zorana in the front office, like, take the ticket office, basically. Motorcycles parked up, all sorts of crazy, awesome stuff on the exterior. On the back, you've got Monkey Wrench leaning against the back wall. You've got Yobbo on the dumpster. Perfect. And loads of graph. I mean, when I get this in hand, I am going to be going over every inch of that packaging to see as much as I possibly can, for sure. And then, of course, on the roof as well, they've even done the roof of it with all of, like, the air conditioning units and all of, like, the exposed, like, element. It's so dope. Do you know what I might do as a laugh? I might do like Cold Slither. You know how, like, okay, the Beatles and then the B Sharps on The Simpsons, when they parodied the Beatles rooftop concert, like the surprise rooftop concert. I'm going to be doing a surprise. I'm just giving everyone well, they're probably already going to do this anyway. It's not like a brilliant idea, but I'm going to be doing a display where they're all on the roof doing a rooftop concert, a la Beatles and the B Sharps. You were talking about a lizard on a dumpster the other day for Night Force 2-pack. I was, Mark. Dumpsters, mate. I'm all about the dumpsters. And that's why I think the back of that Night Force thing is the back of the Springfield Theatre. That's my guess, honestly. Zartan says, "Thank you again for the super chat, by the way, Zartan. I very much appreciate this. If I can't get the figures, I will take Hasbro down." Fire emoji. That I can't condone you taking Hasbro down, so I'm just going to have to hope that you get your figures in that sense. But thank you very much, genuinely, and joking aside, we do very much appreciate super chats, and thank you very much. That's awesome. Action J says, "Love that box." Twisted says, "Now that is a box worth keeping." Bad Wolf Media says, "124 is a perfect price. 3 figures at $25, 1 deluxe with drums at $35, and 15 for the premium exclusive. That's not too bad at all." Yep, I agree. "If I get it, I'll list my box for a cheap $100, lol," says Blitz. I'll give it to my daughter and she will shred it. Amazing, Cobra. "We will be dumpster diving to eat after paying for all this stuff." Actually, Pretzel John, you're probably not far off on that one. That's probably what's going to have to happen. That's an easy diorama with the packaging. Eve says, "Evil Dookie." Well, it gets better, doesn't it? Because it opens out and you've got the interior. That's what I love about this. You've got the exterior, which is the Springfield Theatre, and then the interior, which is the actual venue inside, which is just, again, it writes itself, but it's still executed really well. And I'm really, really down for this, genuinely. Mr. Mad Gus says, "All that stuff on the packaging is no big whoop for me." Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea, is it? 100% not everyone's cup of tea. But for me personally, I love all those little bits and pieces to kind of dig into and see if I've missed anything, which I usually have. See if there's a snake armor in the background. That's a running joke. I'm expecting Mantis. I'll probably cry if you want RKW in a minute. It's too bad they can't make a plastic set. It's true, actually. That'd be really cool if they could make like a little actual, like a dio. It would be amazing. Evil Dookie says, "I already have plans to make a massive Dreadnought dip with dio with that box." Sorry, I'm aware of the the autocorrect to dip whenever you try and write Dio. It's happened to me many times. They are offering a good price for it, Mr. Madgus, for sure. The packaging makes the set, says Jedi Ben. Zephin Smith says, thank you. You're welcome. Did I answer a question, or did I say something that helped? Hopefully I did. Or you're thanking someone else, in which case I'll step away and stop taking credit where I don't deserve it. I would buy it if I collected classified, says Cobra Emperor 6. May we all get our rattlers safe. Yes, indeed, Arnic Blood. I can't wait for mine. I've set up a little space, and I think today I'm going to work on making my diorama kind of like landing strip. So I'm really excited to do that. I'm going to do it for the unboxing and have like a little fake landing strip so that I can do the unboxing in a slightly different way. Yup, a plastic stage set would be fabulous. It really would. Anyway, so brilliant. Here's another shot of everything, including the figures out of the box and a little kind of little a side shot of the packaging. Then we get all of the images, and obviously this is a long hero banner sort of image that I broke into different sections. So obviously we have Torch here with that amazing red arrow on his yellow shirt. Very cool indeed. We've got Ripper and Buzzer, obviously giving it some, and we've got Zartan, of course. Great shot there for the banner. It's really awesome. And I've just broken that down into different segments. Obviously, little kind of touches on the box. We've got the Average Joe's poster and the Gem poster. What is a really good like extra touch on this is the damage that the Average Joe's poster has, because you just imagine the Dreadnoks turning up for the gig, and you could just see like Buzzer or Torch or one of them just kind of losing it and punching the sign because it's the Average Joe's band sort of thing. I think that's just a really fun little touch. It's a bit of fun. It's a joke. I love it. I'm here for it. Rattlers delivered for Christmas, says 44D2 indeed. Medic says, I'm on the fence. I want it, but I have a lot of pre-orders on the way, plus the Snowcat decisions. Lots of decisions to make. And I feel like it's more so this year than any. I think we're really having to pick and choose, aren't we? Michael says, I can't remember where, but I saw one of those printed diorama sets that has a 3D stage and flat backgrounds of audience members that looked like it would work great for this. Meant for wrestling, I think. Yes, you're thinking, I believe, Michael, of the extreme sets. We've got one actually. There's a Legends of Lucha Libre one, which is an extreme set as well, which is like the back kind of like the ring can go in there, but it's also there's like a little kind of locker area, like a little backstage area. It's amazing. Extreme sets are great. Go check them out. I remember Gem and the Rockers had one of my sisters had it. The plastic stage would be fantastic. I still have the fake camera for it. That's great. Torch looks like the only one that hasn't changed his hair. So true. Matt says, does anyone else have the Brian Sauer Cold Slither stage that came out a couple of years ago? He has a mic and crazy hairpiece with vest. I don't remember which one that was, Matt. I'll have to ask Brian. I'll ask him, and maybe I can. In fact, you never know. They might be able to be re-released around like a Cold Slither thing like this. I'll ask him afterwards. But Matt, yeah, you can always message me just to make sure, or you can message Brian at Codename Iowa to see if they're still available in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, I'll move on because there's so much stuff to go through, and we're nowhere near it. Here's Zartan and Ripper giving it some on stage. I love these shots, by the way. Matt's done another phenomenal job here, shooting the galaxy. Great job. These figures look great, by the way. Here's Buzzer as well with the drum kit. Again, they make that drum kit look amazing. Oh god, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. And there's Torch on his keytar. It's just right. So funny story. Lenny was talking about Matt using real sparklers in the back of promo shots, but I didn't know which ones he was talking about. I thought he must be talking about some of the recent ones. Like I know that Budo cuts one of the retro bats' heads off, and there's like a bit of spark in there, and I thought, maybe he's talking about that. And so I kind of, ignored it, brushed it off. Well, not ignored it. I kind of like, we moved on and continued in the interview. And then these came out, and I'm like, this is what he was talking about. He didn't realize that the promo images weren't out. So he kind of did divulge a little bit of information, even though no one would have known what he was actually getting at in that particular instance, which is good. So there you go. Real sparklers, not sprinklers, real sparklers. Did I say sprinklers? I am going absolutely mad. Even if I did say sparklers at the beginning, in my head, I feel like I said sprinklers, and that could be worse. Anyway, brilliant stuff. And then this one is my favorite shot, actually, because it shows the Joes in the crowd, aka Rock and Roll, Shipwreck, Footloose, and then you can see loads. I think Metalhead's in there as well on the right hand side. I need to give those images a proper close look. I've kind of looked at them and like seen the slight homage. There's an eel in the left hand side in full eel's gear as well. That's so funny. Brilliant. Love it. Anyway, there you go. Lovely stuff. And the other little touches, like the kind of like the flyers and the posters and the prints and stuff on the floor of the stage. Brilliant. What I would have done is I'd have had some cables running with some tape down on them, like some like safety tape with like the yellow and black like stripes on it. That's what I would have done that as well for sure. But I love it. It's great. And they've even got the kind of like metal framework either side, for the lighting rig and everything. It's so good. So good. I love this very much. Cannot wait to get this set in hand. Like, I can't tell you. This is another great shot with Ripper about to really give it some on his guitar, and kind of again showing off the whole like group and everything. And there's some really good stuff in here. Like, obviously you've got the stage, that kind of like the rig, which it kind of has like wrestling vibes to me. That kind of that scaffold. I definitely want to get like a setup like this for Cold Slither. I want to do something like this in one of the displays here, because I think it'd be so good to have them done up in a proper stage. So good. And this one as well, where they're trashing the guitars, again using a real sparkler to get that effect. Brilliant. Kicking the amp down, Buzz has already trashed his drum set. It's so good. Like Torch about to absolutely decimate his keytar. It even looks like they've broken one of the elements of the drum kit on the left hand side with his keytar already. It's so good. Fantastic. Sorry, Blitz just said, I think I saw a CEO and his head of HR in the crowd. If you don't know what that is, then you are not looking at the internet. You have not been on the internet for the last week, because my God, all it has been Coldplay concert footage. My goodness. Anyway, love it. Love this so much. It's brilliant. Right, let's move on. We've still got loads to cover. Cannot wait for that set. But we won't be going into a lot of detail with this, guys, I will say, because obviously I've covered it a lot already. But let's do it. It's the Night Force 2-pack. The Walmart have dropped the listing for Beachhead and Quick Kick for the 24th, the Walmart Collecticon. And we've got promo images as well, showing off the packaging, which looks phenomenal. I'm already said I'm completely down for this set, like totally. Bad Wolf says, do we know if Cold Slither is an immediate ship this week? We don't, actually. We don't. I would imagine so. Not immediate, but like certainly like inside a month, I would say. But I don't know. It's just a guess, really. I don't think anyone's said that yet necessarily, and I couldn't work that out from the blurb, so I don't know. I'll have to ask. But again, I have no clue. Anyway, Quick Kick and Beachhead, they look great in this set, and of course we've got a little shot of the background. And as I mentioned before, I'm seeing trash bags. I'm seeing an iguana on the dumpster in between Quick Kick and Beachhead. I think that's Serpentor. And what I'd confused before as like the entrance to some big industrial facility way behind them in the distance is actually just a bunch of other buildings and then at the top right hand corner of that section is the night sky. So yeah, it's like it was very confusing at first when I first saw it, but when my eyes accustomed to like the things that were going on, I was like, oh, I see what it is now. It basically looks like the back of Paddy's pub in uh, It's Always Sunny. Sorry, did a hiccup. Um, that looks like an ammo case by the garage door, says Bad Wolf. I thought it was just a cage, like a box cage type thing. Iguana. I didn't know it was you. There you go, Blitz. Um, seriously, that is the best quick kick repaint, says Jedi Ben, and not much of quick kick exists on it apart from the head sculpts. I think the rest of it is like it's just all sorts of different things, isn't it? Barefoot quick kick will be riding my snowcat in the back, RKW in the cold. They're sneaking into the cold Slither concert, Todd. Indeed. Now, the other thing that kind of came up while we were looking at this, that we were kind of trying to find snake armors in the background. There's a what looks to be a shadow of that Cthulhu sort of like like tendrils and what have you against the back wall to the left of Beachhead as you look at him. It definitely kind of looks like some sort of like maybe crystal balls behind them, just off camera or something, or something like is putting that shadow up on the wall and it looks a bit eerie. So I have a feeling that's maybe some sort of Cthulhu connection with crystal ball. That said, I don't know, and I'm gonna be asking that question though for sure when we speak to them after SDCC. We're lining it up, getting it all sorted, but it will probably be not the week following the show, but the week following that. So 2 weeks after the show is when I'm aiming to try and get the interview lined up. And then after, I'm just hitting puberty today, aren't I? And then after that, it'll take me probably a couple of days to edit, and then it'll take a few days to approve. And probably you're talking it's going to be a couple of weeks following the show easily. But I'll try and get it in as quickly as I can. Okay. Anyway, love this set. I think it's amazing. We all got the call outs as well on the box to show the Oni mask that Quick Kick has, or stole and then repainted. The absolute heathen. The platoon patch for Night Force with the same one with the Griffin and the flame and the globe. So it's the same platoon patch. And Fudgy Interactive, which is on Kick's little drop down tablet on his chest, which is brilliant. Go enjoy your dinner event, Jedi Ben, and have a great night. You watch this later, it's fine. Love Night Force. Looking forward to this set, says Real Zim. Someone call SDCC security, says Todd. Might be an animal trap for the iguana, says Bad Wolf. That's a good point, actually. Maybe that is what it is. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Just making sure I got some more comments in. Anyway, Fudgy Interactive. They did talk about that, Lenny and Tony, in previous interviews, and it's brilliant. I'm so happy that it says Fudgy Interactive. That's adorable. Then, of course, we got some good shots of the figures as well. I think, like making Quick Kick into this sort of like tactical kind of guy is definitely right in my wheelhouse here. Like, I'm really into this. Like, we've got a Quick Kick for the classics, and we've got a Quick Kick for like this sort of stuff, and I'm here for it. I am here all day for this. And of course, if you're going to do a beachhead, if you're doing a Night Force beachhead, you have to. The law is that you have to follow that original deco in that Toys R Us pack, and they have done, and I'm happy they did. Even as mental as it is, and a lot of people have kind of been like vomit emojiing it. I am all about this. I'm here for this weird stuff, man. Keep it coming. A little shot from behind, said Tomax and Zaymot. And here is the loadout for each figure. It's a lot of stuff in it, loads of gear. But this is what's happening at the moment with the 2-packs. They're getting absolutely destroyed with equipment, which is great. I'm here again. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Right then, that is the Night Force 2-pack. Like I said, it's going up on the 24th for Walmart Collecticon at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, make sure you remember that. Put it on your reminders. Get an alarm going. It's going to happen. You know it is. And don't be all like, oh, I slept in or I forgot. Or, well, you can be if that's what happens. But, if you want it, that's when it's going to be available. And Pulse Premium will probably have it as well in small quantities. I'm absolutely certain of it. At the same time, 10 a.m. Eastern, check Pulse Premium, and you should be good to go to get it there as well early, right? Okay, cool. That that's that. Right. One last, I say last, one massive amount of information to go through, and that is probably the biggest news of the week. Of course, it is the reveals. Let's do it. Yes, render reveals galore indeed, and this is again. I said it before. I still haven't got over the fact that we got an official reveal from Hasbro. Haven't gone over that, and that just shows you the kind of level that we are at in terms of, you know, that sort of thing, where I'm still like dining out and will be dining out on getting an official reveal of, from Hasbro as a render. I'm going to be dining out on that forever. No matter what it is, I was just like, that's insane. So we got some cool reveals. And like I said, we were very fortunate to get the Grim Viper. And like I said, I still am a little bit in shock, honestly. Yeah, I think E slept on their reveal, says Action J. Well, you know what? I kind of feel like there was like how do I put it? I feel like I think it was done on purpose. And I don't think it was done necessarily with the intention of, yeah, we'll do EEs on EEs the next day. Let's tell them a different date or whatever. I genuinely think it was done on purpose. Like E wanted a bit of space for theirs, to kind of like have that kind of impact again. But again, I'm also quite cool with them kind of separating it, because again, it gave us a little bit more to enjoy. It would have been cool actually if they'd have done 3 and 2. If they'd have done 3 on that first day and then 2 on the next day, that would have been cool as well. But again, it was like an exciting sort of period of time. Hell, if they'd have spread it out and had like me Monday, AIC Tuesday, because it was 5 reveals, Dan on Wednesday, Big Bad Toy Store Thursday, Entertainment Earth Friday. That'd have been a crazy week, wouldn't it? It'd have been like, oh, we've got another one. And then like a little hint that maybe another one was coming the next day. That kind of stuff. It'd be nuts. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the kind words. All this and still no classified lifeline, says Stygian. I know it's like it's getting to the point now where I'm going to start putting out an all points bulletin on Lifeline. 610 says, Chris, my wallet is crying and begging to stop the torture. Well, at least you don't have to pay for anything at the moment right now with this. E wanted to be cool and wait, says Todd. I'm getting a bunch of these, says Real Zim. I think I have to now. Like this is going to be one of those ones where I have to army build this up the wazoo, because this was the reveal we got. Desert Scorpion profile coming up, says Figure Six Pack. Congrats on getting a reveal, Chris. That's awesome. Thank you, Action J. One each day for a week leading up to SDCC would have worked, says Bad Wolf Media. I think so. But again, I'm also quite happy for them to just dump it all in one day as well. Like, go nuts. At least I'll be going live every single day, but that was, again, I don't mind doing that. I need Jello Viper, says Stygian. RKW says Top Shill should not have just a repaint. RKW, hell, I'm telling you now, I more than happy with this. Yeah, I'm not going to be the one that's going to be going, in the future, guys, can I get Hydro Viper? No, I'm not going to be doing that at all. Action J said I would have loved one a day. Mark says chill on Sunday. We could have one on Monday. Yeah, Grim Viper on Monday. AIC took her for a drink on... Well, hang on, took who for a drink on Tuesday? I can't remember if they... Desert Scorpion for a drink on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and chilled on... No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, chilled on Sunday. Sorry, I've forgotten all the lyrics to that Craig David song. Figure Six Pack says, nobody volunteers to be a Scorpion. It is a punishment given to undermotivated Vipers who refuse to follow orders. Medic says, surely Lifeline will be a deluxe. I would hope so. I'd hope they'd go overboard with Lifeline. Chris, when Hydro Viper? I think soon, based on Wetsuit, but we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, I'm not going to get to all the comments. Sorry, guys. Let's move through this amazing Grim Viper. There's probably going to be more information coming soon as well, so we'll get some info on this dude. And I'm hoping for a file card too, because They were doing that for a while, and that kind of sort of stopped. So I don't know what happened there, but we were getting those like social file cards, weren't we? I kind of hope we get more of those. Maybe a little backlog just drop to so we've got all of those file cards at hand. But anyway, I love this deco. Obviously comes with a massive gun. So this is a heavy gunner sort of range viper dude, and you've got and that's pretty much, you know, as far as you can go with it. You got the backpack, the knife, the pistol, another knife, that ain't a knife, and then a gigantic machine like minigun that we've seen with the Ram, we've seen with heavy artillery roadblock, we've seen with probably we've seen it a few times. It's actually pointing at me right now. Well, multiple Rams, obviously. So yeah, again, this was definitely one that I think definitely keeps the costs down in this particular wave, but looks good. And again, close up of the deco, I love that camo looks amazing. It's a shame it's just on the arms, but again, if it was like everywhere, it would be too much. So I get it. And the secondary, maybe have a little bit of it on the secondary and some maybe in that kind of. But then again, I like the color of the secondary, so I think they're right in doing it. I think I just want to see more of that camo. Is really what it is. I want to see more of it because it looks so bloody good. And then the head sculpt with the two explosion background eyes, which is great. It is definitely Hector Greedo explosion background, isn't it? They've definitely just crushed that and then stuck him in the eyes. Sure, that's the only answer, I think. I bet the camo is under the torso, under the secondary as well, Bad Wolf. I just want it to be on show a little bit, you know. I also like the little kind of tactical turtleneck as well on the Range Viper, or on this one anyway. Cobra Codpiece alert, indeed, Jamie Lynn. This is just to show you two very weird arms. It's not, it's just to show the loadout, which we've already talked about. And then, of course, we get the Desert Scorpion. This is crazy. I think they've absolutely knocked this one out of the park. I'm really happy that it's following the classic version. I want to say that, I mean, I'm glad they went with this and not the Sand Scorpion, which is a completely different kind of vibe, different character as well, technically. But I'm glad they went this direction with it. I'm glad we've got this, like, what is clearly some sort of DNA friggin' adjusted Dr. Mindbender creation of a scorpion. And, you know, I'm really happy we've got this kind of like design on the Desert Scorpion, which looks very close, but certainly has a lot of updates design wise to it as well. Here you see the kind of close up of the kind of like the main part of the figure without the legs, obviously, but just so you can get like a good idea of what's going on the bandolier, on the secondary, sleeveless in Seattle, of course, the tattoo on the shoulder, the Cobra sigil, which again is, you know, something that we've seen on the Desert Scorpion. The grenades as well, very nice, all very cool. Love it. I'm here for it. And that head sculpt is wicked with soft goods wibbler at the back. Nice. Also, you can take that little mask section off, the not Snake Eyes mask, and you can put the not Chris McLeod's face on there, I guess, because he's just a dude with a beard. That's the only one I could think of, myself. So yeah, and you can put that face on there as well with the scar as well. I need to. That's my cosplay. I'll just put a scar down there, and people will be like, "Oh, you're the alternate head on the Desert Scorpion." I'll be like, "Yep, that's it." Love this so much. Oh my god, that scorpion is nuts, by the way, as well. Look at that thing. It's like if like the alien species created scorpions, basically. And I know there has been a scorpion alien in the Alien franchise, in the toys and mini comics. I know that because I am a big fan of the Alien franchise. But this is like a pet of an alien that's also got some alien DNA in it. Let's face it. In fact, I wonder if Mindbender has incorporated alien DNA and we're going to finally get into space. This would be like the kind of indirect route we get into Star Brigade and Lunatics and Manimals and stuff like that. Does the face version have a name on the Desert Scorpion? No, Jeffrey. Not that we're aware of. Steve, we'll just say Steve. They did a pretty good job on this. I'll admit I wasn't interested before the render, says Blitz. My God, Blitz. I was interested before, during, and after. Going to be pricey, says Toy Bounty Hunter, but shooting for 3 to 5 desert scorpions. My goodness, that's not that. To be honest, though, I feel you. I know why it's so good. Need desert snake eyes sneaking up in the ranks of multiple of these. Yes, and Dusty. Zangief mask. Thank you, Leon. It does look a bit Zangiefy, doesn't it? You're right. Zangief. We'll call him Zan or Zang or Zangief. We'll just call him Geef. Geef. What a horrible nickname. I just made the joke about that being Lenny, but I wonder if someone did that and put it in there without telling Lenny as a joke. Nods to him. No, I don't think so. They're not really. This is the thing. The head sculpts have to be. It has to be like very low key someone's likeness, because they're not allowed to do that anymore at Hasbro. They get into too much litigation. In fact, they tried not to have it done, but obviously, if something looks like somebody, they can't really say. They just can't really put it out there that, oh yes, that's the face of this, that's the face of that, because it's a legal problem now. Ever since there was I think back in the day, there was an issue where I think it was a likeness on a figure. It was an ex-employee got peed off because they weren't there anymore and their likeness was used. Maybe they probably left as it was being created. This is a long time ago, by the way. And then in that there was this legal issue, and yeah, that's why they stopped doing that. So no more like known likenesses, if that makes sense. Yeah, the pets are a total win. I wish they would have made Polly and the Falcon articulated, says Justin Anderson. Same, actually. Ryan, toy photographers could use that Scorpion for other adventure lines like Indiana Jones, for example. Yes, they could, Ryan. Gridiron needs to add some weapon attachments for that Scorpion, says RKW. They probably will. Yes, we're all waiting on Rattlers, Stygian. Everyone is, pretty much. There's they're shipping them in batches, right? This is what they've told us already. They ship in batches when they come in. As they come in, they ship a batch out. They come in, they ship a batch out. At the moment, only a small percentage of people have them. Eventually, we will all have them. It's just a matter of you'll get it when it comes in and it'll send off. There's no that won't change on a day-to-day basis. They won't all arrive at once in one go and we'll all get them. You'll get it. Don't worry. Dark Energon Enhanced Scorpion, says Michael. Could be. He's called Sandy, says Mark. Get out. Defiant HasLab confirmed for 27 weeks be the size of a mist, says Lawrence. I lost the last bit, Lawrence. If you could just maybe, I think there was a typo in there. Like I can't understand the comment. Sorry. Loki likeness, says Leon. Frostbite looks like Lenny, says 44D2. I mean, if it's got a beard and is a face, it usually does look like Lenny. You can't go making someone look like, say, Pedro Pascal or Bruce Lee. I know exactly. I think the other face is the guy Zartan's mask is supposed to imitate. That's not a bad shout, Yorktown Joe. And there is a little bit. No, it's not the same, but there was that Zartan in the desert for Rise of Cobra, wasn't it? Where was it, Rise of Cobra or Pursuit of Cobra? Either way, it was one of those. It was in that same time period where they kind of used a little bit of sort of elements that you could almost say it was like a Raptor meets Zartan sort of figure, but it was effectively the movie Zartan in the desert as in a disguise. And so I'm just wondering if there's a little bit of like mixed up homage in there, you know? I read it differently, says Figure Six Pack. I thought it read dessert scorpions with a dust of cinnamon sugar imitating a sand. Genius. I have my Rattler RKW. Get out. I hate you so much. I don't really. I hope you enjoy it. And I was going to say don't choke on it. That's really harsh, isn't it? No, I hope you really enjoy it. I can't wait to get the Rattler. It's going to be awesome. I have smug Rattler owner face, says Leon. How dare you? Happily in that small percentage, says Twisted. Looks like a large percentage of you in the comments have it. I'm not into this. Yeah, we're on the naughty list. That's why. Slowly raises Rattler's safe at home hand, says Blitz. I like this better than the Mech Scorpion, says Jarhead. Yes, I was kind of thinking, oh, I wonder if it's going to be some sort of like cyborg, half robot, half real thing, or maybe just a full robot. And I was honestly here for any of those options. So when this came out, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm glad they did this. I'm glad they went biological. Maybe there's a Cobra La element in there too, but I'm just glad they did it this way. I think it looks great. And then the rest of his gear, we have a so like the cable connector, which looks to be backpack to helmet, maybe. Then you've got the I don't know what that where does that go? I really have not given this any thought since I looked at it the first time. Obviously, the backpack is one place where it connects, but what does it connect to? Does it connect to the staff? Can anyone let me know? Because I can't. I just can't work that out. There's nothing on there. Yeah, there's a periscope there. Are you saying that it attaches to the periscope to the backpack to the periscope? So the same thing just connected to the same thing? Or are we saying that it connects from the backpack? I'm saying, does it connect? It's got to connect to the backpack to something else, right? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to find out, I guess, in the Fouch and the Foucher. So it comes with a big stick with a blade on the end of it. Does that come with slice and dice? Again, I can't remember. So I'll ignore that as well. And then you got the big dagger. That ain't a knife. It is a knife. Clearly, it's a knife. There looks to be another knife on there, I think. Yep, two daggers. He gets two knives, two of the hand claw things. The Alley Viper's grappling hook. God, why do I struggle with the words grappling hook? I forget grappling hook I always have to like take a beat, and I don't know why. That's happened for so long. I wonder if that synapse in my brain is just like that doesn't exist. Like that bit is struggling so hard. The grappling hook part of my brain is struggling so hard to keep that filed for some reason. Anyway, so grappling hook from the Alley Viper, the machine gun from the Alley Viper, the extra head, of course, the little blades, the little blade claws, which are new, I think, and of course the other cape, which we don't know is soft goods, but it could be. And I'm in for either, honestly. I was thinking at first it might be kind of like a hard neck piece, like a plastic neck piece, and then a soft goods element coming off it. But who knows? Who bloody knows? We'll find out soon, I guess. Then we had sci-fi, courtesy of the wonderful Dan Larson of Toy/Secret Galaxy. So massive shout out to Dan. And of course to Adventures in Collecting, who I did say before, but I need to give them more of a shout about. Adventures in Collecting, of course, got to reveal the Desert Scorpion, and I'm not jealous at all. Amazing stuff though, guys. And of course, Dan gets sci-fi and pops this one up, and it's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. For many reasons, I like the fact that they've stuck very close to the kind of sci-fi we know and love. A lot of people were kind of hoping, I think, for a bit of an Operation Blackout update. Maybe that'll come in the future, like in some sort of like throwback to like a what would you call it? Kind of like a Legends series or something like that. But in any case, we get a massive cable that connects the backpack to the well, a lot of people are saying plasma rifle now, which is totally fine. Maybe he's going to be a plasma soldier. Who knows? But yeah, a lot of the talk around the laser plasma scenario, and I think, let's face it, what's going on here? Yes, there's a nerdy element to this, and a lot of people are kind of doing the well, actually, but you're right. That is 100% not a laser. That is a big blast of like energon or something, isn't it? Really, let's face it. And I think there might be a little bit of a connection here to Transformers, like a little homage touch kind of element, with it being like a Cybertronian sort of kind of crossover. So I think that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's not necessarily a laser, but then again, you don't have to use the blast effect. You could use the blast effect and stick it somewhere else. You don't even have to use it. Can stay in the box. A laser blast effect would effectively just be a thin plastic, very thin plastic tube that went on for infinite until it hit something. So it's kind of like, what would you prefer? Do you prefer something like that that's very toyetic and fun and Ghostbusters, or would you prefer something that is effectively nothing and you can do something else in that one? Anyway, I Agree with you though, that is not a laser blast, and I think everyone is with you on that, whoever was saying it. But I've got to say, I friggin' love it. I love the toyetic aspect of that particular blast effect. The fact that it's different, we haven't seen it before. And yeah, I'm again, will I use it for sci-fi? Probably. But it's not, it's not like we've got laser blast effects. Everything's like machine gun blasts and stuff like that. I don't think we've actually got a full-on proper laser, have we? We've just got like, you can kind of use that thin like stem that's like a different color from the bat. There's like a blue or something, isn't it? You can kind of use that, but for the most part, all the blast effects are kind of like very standard issue blast effect colors, aren't they? But yeah, it is an energon lollipop. I like it. But I'm telling you, I'm down for this. Not that you had to know that, because you know that anyway. Love the redesign. No, it's not even a redesign of the rifle, really. It's very close to the original, or the what we know with sci-fi, but they've added some elements to it to make it slightly different. Now the actual figure, very nice indeed. Love that secondary. I think that's going to be dope. Deco on point. He's got his little thigh pouches, even though they don't remove. They don't come off. Like that would have been the piece de resistance if they came off and like were connected by little cables. That would be so good. I get that they didn't have, I get they didn't do that, and that's fine. It's all good. But it would have been nice to have some stored like laser or plasma or energon magazines that you could lock in there. But yeah, very cool indeed. Head sculpt. When I got close up in this, I realized, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot more detail going on than from a distance. I almost like very much dismissed the head sculpt at first, but then when I got in there, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, there's details here. Like he's got like an interesting sort of like kind of an interesting facial expression here, and again, like half doing a little bit of raised eyebrow, but also he's somehow kept a neutral expression whilst having a little bit going on at the top here. Somehow he's done that. Yeah, confusion, I think 44D2 is a great, maybe I'm confused as well at how I'm looking at it, but very cool. Actually, what I think it is he's concentrating. It's a concentrated, stoic look as he starts to line up his very powerful laser rifle, come plasma, come energon rifle. Stop saying that. It's not that kind of rifle. Amazing. Then we have then we have his helmet. Kitty said, "Thank you, Jamie Lynn, for saying that." For the other thing I said, pause indeed. And this is great because on the modern 4-inch version, they had different head sculpts that gave you a full visor, gave you just a full facial covering, pause, and then just a visor covering over the eyes. So you've got the two different options here, both removable sections. You can see where they plug in and unplug. Brilliant. And the helmet you're looking at the top, if you might be thinking, well, the visor's on that. No, you're not looking at the visor. You're looking at the interior of the back of the helmet. So that is a fully like hole in the face sort of thing there. So you can kind of have him, his whole face is exposed, talking, whatever, and then the bat, something's happening, visor comes down, and then full on battle, the whole thing comes down. I love this. I think it's futuristic, yeah, but it's also got like a really cool like practical vibe to it. I like it a lot. The backpack, very very classically sci-fi's backpack, with that big hole in the back. So I imagine that's where the cable plugs in. And then you've got those vents, which are a different deco as well, which is nice. And then, of course, you've got the other point for the cable to connect to the kind of magazine section of I know it's not a magazine, you know what I'm saying, but like that part would be normally where the magazine is on a rifle. That plugs into the bottom there. And what's really cool is it says on there, Target acquired, is it? Which is funny because it's not a Target exclusive. I think it's Target acquired. I can't remember off the top. It's Target something or Target locked. It might be Target locked. Let me just quickly see what the heck that is. Have I deleted them all already? No, I've just taken. There's just been loads of pictures since then. Honestly, this isn't real life, is it? It's mental, the amount of stuff. Yeah, Target locked. So he's obviously gone to a Target store and they're closed, and he's tried the front door. The rifle's like, sorry, mate, Target locked. And then, of course, yeah, that amazing Ghostbusters freaking proton pack blast as well, which is dope. Then, of course, we got Wetsuit, courtesy of Big Bad Toy Store. They posted theirs at the same time as we posted the Grim Viper, and AIC posted Desert Scorpion, and Dan posted Sci-Fi. So Wetsuit was the other one. We knew this one was coming. We had the listing and everything. But yeah, I won't get into the details, but very cool. And I will say I had no idea we were getting so much new stuff with Wetsuit, and I'm here for it. Now, a couple of things to point out. Obviously, the figure, spot on, amazing, very close to the original. I really like the hairstyle on this one as well. When you get close up to it, you can see the curly waviness of his hair. It's not like full on redhead, but then again, I don't think he was anyway. It was kind of like that kind of light brown hair style, very nice indeed. And of course, the flying fish red like tampo on his chest as well as there too, even down to the little zipper a little bit undone around the neck. Love that. Great, just really really great details on all of these figures. And Wetsuit is not missing out either. And again, brilliant facial sculpt on this one. Again, lots of detail on like the forehead. Again, a little more lines on this one, definitely around the eyes. But again, I love this one very much. And then of course you've got the amount of new in this is great, like the backpack, the helmet, the the pipes and everything, spot on. And it's the orange wetsuit with the kind of tealy green color. Absolutely love it. And the halogen lamp with the loop, brilliant. A little dagger, pistol, fantastic. But then to give us a brand new underwater vehicle is brilliant. And that thing looks so cool, by the way. I'm really excited to see what sort of like, what are we dealing with here? Is this like one piece? Is it like modular? Is it articulated? I'm interested to see what they've actually done with this, because I can't see hinges on it necessarily. But there could be ports that like those little wing things lock into, or it could just be one piece. Either way, I'm whatever it's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be cool, and it looks great. And I just can't believe we've got something brand new. I was fully expecting the diver, the recon diver, and what's in the diver 2 pack, just that kind of underwater vehicle, which is cool, but just in orange. I was just expecting that. So phenomenal stuff. And then of course the biggest, are the Hydro Vipers coming nod I've ever seen in my life. Clearly they are, aren't they? And there you've got the you got the flippers. Amazing stuff. Cal says, what if it mounts to the backpack too? It could do. Could turn him into like some sort of Centurion, couldn't it? Could lock it in and then be like Max Ray underwater with all that gear. It kind of looks like his submersible might notch into the bottom of his pack, says Jamie Lynn. Yeah. So it could be the bottom part. Yeah. It could be all sorts, couldn't it? And it's, yeah, that's a good point. Now you mention it, guys. The little indentation in the bottom of the backpack, you could turn around and see like a little, almost like a little space, like a T space, where that little black nodule bit on the thing could lock in, giving him sort of like a little extra backpack thing. I think the more I think about this with these comments, that I didn't talk about this when I first revealed these, because it didn't dawn on me. And I certainly didn't see it in the comments then, but that's a really, really good shout. I'm just down for all of this stuff, man. Like, and I know some people were a little bit kind of irked that if this is, it clearly is going to be for the Hydro Viper in the future, but kind of a bit kind of irked that you'd give them to Wetsuit as well. Because you kind of want those to be a little bit unique. I get it. But when are you going to use them again? So I kind of see this as a good pre-use, honestly. And you've redecorated it in that teal color, so I think you get away with it. And I'm very excited to see these in like a purple, violet, lilac, or whatever the hell it is, and kind of maroon red or burgundy, a Ron Burgundy or a Maroon 5 vibe when the actual Hydro Viper comes out, which has to happen, right? I mean, this is almost like, although then again, we haven't seen Flash yet, have we? and we've expected Flash now for the last year since the blooming Dragonfly came out. Anyway, lovely stuff, beautiful. And then, of course, running late to the show, to the party, was Entertainment Earth, who dropped this lovely mainframe on us as well. And again, lots to enjoy in this wave, by the way. So many accessories. It is unreal. So yeah, where they saved on the Grim Viper, you've certainly seen that cost and budget flooding into Desert Scorpion, which isn't in the retail wave before. Obviously, it's a standard, it's a mainline wave figure, but it's a figure and pet price point. It's a different, technically different, but it is technically also in that same wave, if that makes sense. But you can see that the money's gone into really packing out mainframe, wetsuit, and sci-fi. That's all new stuff. And then, of course, the Desert Scorpion. So yeah, it looks like they had to at least do a kit bash repaint with reused accessories for one of those. And to be honest, they came up with a really good one in the Grim Viper, so I'm happy. Anyway, mainframe looks cool. A lot of people have talked about the fact that he's going to be on the shorter side because he utilizes Tunnel Rat's legs. Tunnel Rat is shorter, but he ain't that short. It's not like Danny DeVito and Manute Bol standing next to each other. It's not that different. And again, it adds to that variation in the line a little bit. Like I find it funny that there's always like a little bit of a response to the height in these things. I don't necessarily see mainframe as being like short, but certainly I don't expect him to be a hulking massive Sergeant Slaughter type. So it's fine to have some of these characters operating in like different spaces of the height spectrum. And I kind of feel like mainframe is a good one to throw in that particular arena, to make a kind of shorter character. That said, I think he looks great. And the accessories for me here, well, accessories and a lot of like design details jump out to me here. So obviously we look at mainframe here, slightly more close up, and they've definitely gone for the more cartoon based deco here in regards to the darker pants, because obviously original mainframe toy is like all one color, isn't he, basically? So yeah, I kind of like this separation of pants and shirt. It doesn't look like he's wearing a onesie, basically. But there's a lot of elements in here they've incorporated from the cartoon, including the bandolier with all that kind of gear going on at the top. That's very much like the Sunbow cartoon, slightly tweaked. The two little they're like kind of what they called Velcro straps at the top of the zip of the shirt is straight out of the cartoon as well. And of course, you've got the holster for the pistol on the torso as well. Leon says, real nitpick, I so wish they would put arm patches on the front, not the side. For classified, though, I get it for the vintage kind of era. I get it for that because it was like it made some semblance of sense. But for classified, it's got to be a little bit more realistic, hasn't it? Anyway, it's a personal preference, isn't it? I guess at the end of the day. Anyway, yeah, and so very cool. Loads of nice little details. The alternate head. One thing I would say is I would have made this alternate head mouth open somewhat. I'd have had it like an element of like like just like as if he's talking on the microphone that he's got on his cap. I think that would have been like a cool little addition on this one, but still cool. And of course, his classic helmet, so it's removable too. So you've got two head sculpts and a helmet, so you can just pop the helmet on there, and Bob's your uncle. And then you see the this is like a close up of the actual thing on his bandolier, which again is like very much like what you see in the cartoon. And again, like lovely little touches, little deco touches on there to make it look. This looks like something straight out of the 80s, basically. It looks like one of those toys that came out that had the tiniest screen ever and was like what was that thing that was like, it's like a barcode battlers. Do you remember those? Did that actually come out in the States? That was like the dumbest thing ever, never really caught on. But that's the kind of level I'm thinking. Like this is some sort of long forgotten toy that's just strapped to his bandolier. Chris, did you happen to ask if we will get October Guard? So this is the thing, Roel. You can't. I could ask that question, but they wouldn't be able to answer it because they can't talk about upcoming product. Um, I don't. I think based on reading between the lines, I think October Guard we might see in some way, shape, or form in the future. Like we might get the odd character sneak in here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, I didn't ask that question because it would be a wasted question at the end of the day. They don't talk. They can't talk about upcoming products. Like you can't say, "Is this coming? Is that coming? Is this coming?" Because they can't answer that question. So it would be kind of a waste of time, unfortunately. But yeah, there's a reason, obviously, that they haven't done it so far, but it's very likely that it'll show up eventually in the future. It's Kevin McAllister's Talk Boy, says McMurphy. That's exactly what it is. Um, yeah, I'm down for this. And then obviously, yeah, in reference there to Leon's wishing you could see them face on, the side patch there, very much like the original by the looks of it, the kind of shield with the red background and the kind of almost like chrome Mercedes logo, isn't it? But yeah. And then of course, all the different like touches on the belt buckle. Again, it's like the Marines kind of call out, isn't it? A little bit. Is what a few people have said this guy, there could be a beret, it could be coiled up wire, like cable, because he's in that kind of arena, isn't he? Like audio and communications. And so, yeah, I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm excited to find out what that is. And then this is on his wrist. It's another communicator. Dude is covered in old school toy communicators. Um, there's a reason behind the Marines logo figure six pack, and I'm not sure they can actually talk about it, but effectively it's a legal issue that relates to the Marines, and it's not as simple as they won't let them use it. It's there's something else to it. Basically, it could be Ethernet cable, says figure six pack. Yes, could be. It could be a spicy wiener, Leon. Yes, indeed. Um, yeah, and then of course we have the accessories, which are insane. So this is the updated laptop, fold out, lots of kind of hinges and stuff going on here. This thing looks amazing. I can't wait to see this in like full in action in 3D because I think there's more to it, and I'm hoping it has that sort of like thick wedge sort of shape to it as well. And then I love the stuff that's on all the different like panels and readouts, access and loading, and like there's like a warning thing that's come up because they're trying to break into like, oh, it's so good, love it. Um, and then of course you have the backpack with again more readouts. You got scanning readout in there and binary code. You got connector active on there because obviously you're going to plug that thing on the right hand side into the backpack, and then that will go into one of the communicators, which we'll see now. I'm guessing in the one on the right. You can probably plug it into both, actually, I'd imagine, but one can be stowed on body and the other one could be held at the end of the connecting cable, I'd imagine. But I love these. One says that's calling, and that's just got like a little flash with an exclamation mark in it. Love that. Love that. Love all this stuff. And then a dagger and a pistol just for lols. And that is everything on mainframe. In actual fact, that's everything for the reveals. I'm going to have to bring it to a conclusion now. Of course, last but not least, we're talking Snowcat. It's the most recent, not most recently. I think it's probably gone up a bit since I took that screenshot. I added a new, about an hour ago, I think it was. I took a new screenshot and put it on the top of that that image. So it did say that it was just over 7K when I posted that image. When I checked at that recent time, it was 7,072. There's a little baby girl here. Does anyone want to? Does Annie want to meet everyone? Do you want to say hi to everyone, honey? No, she just wanted to check to see if I was all right. She was just checking to see if I was alive, basically. It's been a while, I know, darling. I'm sorry. She's been waiting at the door the whole time. Oh, poor thing. Well, Annie's in the house. She doesn't want to come up here. She just wanted to make sure I was alive. So yeah, it's gone up. It's gone up a little bit. Thank you, Bad Wolf Media. It's 7,092 now. So it's moving a little bit. Absolutely. Will it fund? I mean, almost certainly it's going to hit 8K, right? Will it hit all the tiers? I'm still pretty confident. Genuinely, I still feel like there's going to be a big spike at the end. No doubt about it. Will it be 14K? I think so. Like if you look at the Geek Dad Life like tracker, it's kind of trending at the same sort. It's like higher, like more backers at this point than the Sky Striker, but the line is like the same. And when they get to a certain point, it obviously the Sky Striker absolutely went nuts and ended up hitting, not everything, certainly not, but it definitely got higher than what we're looking to get with 14K. So, do I think it's going to fund and hit all the tiers? I do. At the end of the day, will it? That's another thing entirely, isn't it? I just feel fairly confident it will. But again, I think it's going to have to hit that. It'll probably. I think SDCC will give it a bump, and then I think at the end, I think that spike will just go through the roof. But who knows? Like we're in kind of uncharted territory a little bit here, because again, most of the all of the classified HasLabs to this point, other than the Sky Striker, of course, because that is actually the lowest performing to this point still. They all kind of just absolutely rinsed it, didn't they? So, with that said, I will say, yeah, let's get it done. Come on, guys, let's do this. Right then. Todd says if it's close at the end, everyone will rally to get it to 14K. Who knows? Who knows? Well, hopefully it will. I think it will, but we'll see, won't we? That, I believe, is everything. Getting to the leak listings, again, nothing's changed since the news burst in the week, so I'm not going to get into much detail there, other than to say Sci-Fi Grim Viper mainframe and wetsuit look to be the next 4-figure retail wave, with obviously Desert Scorpion, Trent Pet there as the figure pet set, and of course the Night Force Beachhead and Night Force Quick Kick up there, ready for pre-order on the 24th for Walmart Collecticon. So be able to strike some of these off soon, including the Cold Slither box set, which is up there too. And so we'll have a bit more green by the end of SDCC, and we'll probably have some unlocks on here courtesy of name onlys and renders from SDCC as well. So lots to get into, isn't it? It's crazy. 2026, same situation. Don't have any updates. All the same as last time. Taurus and Red Dog is known as Johnny 2-pack. We don't know what the number or internal code word is for the Steel Core Sentry with Defense Post, and the HasLab Snowcat. We know the number because it's on the page, but we don't know the internal code word. So hopefully we'll be able to add that at some point as well. Not that that's important, but I do like to be very, comprehensive with this stuff by the end of it, at least. Name only reveals at the moment, like I said, Steel Core Sentry with Defense Post, Taurus and Red Dog, and that's it. We're a bit, they need to do some name onlys. We need to add to those. And then digital renders, we are flush with at the moment. The Legacy Police Officer, the Night Force 2-pack, of course, Wetsuit, Sci-Fi, and Mainframe, the HasLab offering, Grim Viper, Desert Scorpion, and the SDCC Cold Slither set. There you go. Right then, I am going to move into the shout outs, but before we get into that, here is a little message from our sponsor. Right, Battle Action Force Deluxe Treasure Editions. Go get them. If you want to order them, you can get them from Skeletron.com in the US and TotalToyBooks.com in the UK and Europe. They are beautiful, wonderful things. You want them in your life for sure. As well as that, you can nominate them for the Comic Scene Awards. Link on our Facebook page and socials. But I think go to the Facebook page and also go to TotalToyBooks.com or Total Toy Books Facebook page as well, socials. They'll also have the link where you can basically, and the instructions to go in and nominate them for 2 separate kind of like awards. and then do that so they can get in there, because Brian fully deserves this, by the way. The Battle Action Force Treasury editions are amazing, and they deserve awards for sure. As well as that, they do have the Total Action Force Volume 3 coming soon as well. That's the Kickstarter. We'll have an interview with Brian again about that when it's close to the time. Well, when it comes out, we'll be talking with Brian about the book again. And we've already done a little interview about this. You can go check that out on our YouTube channel right now or after this show. As well as that, massive shout out to Phil and Pat from Articulated Points. Pat, of course, who is usually on the show, couldn't be on this one, of course, because I had to go a little bit later in the day. 2 hours. Poor Pat. He's missed out on a 2-hour banger. Their last video, I think, was from Joe Fest, and it was the Designing the Terror Drone with Steve Rice. Amazing. Go check it out. The Declassified special as well. Go check that out on their YouTube channel and go subscribe. They're the best. Also, massive shout out to Brian Sauer at Codename Iowa. Assembly Required is happening on the 14th and 15th of November. More information to come, of course. And obviously, go to codenameiowa.com for some crazy, awesome merch and stuff. They've got amazing t-shirts, Cell Pop card backs, and of course, that Ashcan Word Burglar Rhymes with Comics #1 for the amazing Kickstarter that Word Burglar is doing at the moment, and absolutely killing it on that. But before I talk about that, Skeletron.com, go get your Robo Skulls Mark IIs. They're the Toy of the Year 2024 from a lot of different sources, by the way. And of course, talking of Word Burglar, here is his Stretch Goals reward list. And he's got the cassette tape done. I'm so happy. This means that a piece of music that I have made, Toronton, which I did with Word Burglar for Cyberverse, is going to be on a tape cassette. You may think, Chris, why do you care so much about getting your music on such, dead media or whatever? Well, I think it's just the nostalgia element of it. Like, having music on vinyl was a huge dream of mine. That has happened multiple times now, thanks to Word Burglar, thanks to Skeletron, thanks to me making lots of music. So that was one dream. The next one is tape cassette. And then I don't know, getting this show on VHS would probably be the absolute. Maybe I could do a special episode that I could then send out to patrons of the show, and it's on VHS. Could you imagine that? What would it even be? It would be so hard to commit something in the kind of, because it would just be news related. It would be like current affairs related. It would be so instantly dated, wouldn't it? But then again, it is on a VHS tape, so maybe I just put all of the maybe I just make some sort of compilation of all of our kind of I don't know. That's really hard, isn't it? But anyway, VHS is probably off the table, but I'm getting my dream to be on a tape cassette, and that is crazy that that's something that is a dream of mine, but it is, and it's happening. So there. No 8-track figure 6-pack, sorry. Pass says VHS, me and Word Burglar doing Wayne's World. That could work, actually. Anyway, massive shout out to Word Burglar. Go and keep pledging for his amazing Kickstarter. It's absolutely insane, and it's going to the moon. So get involved. Let's do it. I have deep dived on Micronauts, David, with the very early on we've got a whole episode on Micronauts. Go enjoy that. I still love vinyl, and digital thumbnails don't compare to large album art, says Bry. Good point. Anyway, massive shout out to Word Burglar. Love you, man, and can't wait to get you on the show again before the end of the campaign, just to talk about how you feel it's going. Amazing, I imagine. Right then. Also, massive shout out to Mark and Tim at Talking Joe, who did a great interview with Jerry Finley Day. Brian was also involved in that. Brian Hickey, of course, Battle Action Force Treasury Editions. Shout out again. But obviously, Jerry Finley Day was the brainchild behind that entire Battle Action Force run. So this is an important one. Go check it out if you're a fan. And go and check out if you're not a fan and learn some things, because the guy is brilliant. We're also hoping to possibly get him on our show as well. So maybe Brian and Jerry can jump on the full force as well soon. That would be great. Anyway, that's it for the show today. Thank you very much. Sorry it went a little bit longer than usual and was also later in the day. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will see our patrons tomorrow for the Q&A, if you're Red Shadow Army or SAS level. And other than that, any news that happens is going to be a lot of it because it's the lead up to SDCC, then it's SDCC. I mean, it's just going to be stupid. And I'm already having a nervous breakdown. But stay fresh, cheese bags, as I always say. And after 3, you know what to do, guys. 1, 2, 3. Full force. See you soon. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full force.